Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I hope you're all having a wonderful night. And
Good morning.
yeah, it's morning for me at least.
It's morning for some people.
True. It's like, what is it in Europe right now? It's afternoon, right? No, I'm wrong. I feel like I'm wrong.
No,
Like
no, it's
late. It's
very, very
super
early
late or
morning.
early. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing well. Off to a hot start here.
I'm sorry. I should have just let you do your spiel.
It's all good. So for those of you just
Okay.
tuning in that don't know who I am, I'm SnoopHog TV. My co-host here, MissFatalKisses, aka Kass.
Hi, it's me.
Um, every week we do a podcast. We pick a topic to start off with, which is not TwitchCon 2018, but because I'm an NA streamer of the year, I haven't updated it yet. Um, today we are going to talk about esports and content creators, and specifically the Valkyrie pickup by 100 Thieves. But
Hmm.
we usually start off with a topic and then move on to viewer questions. You can do exclamation point stream key in the chat. It'll hook you up with the Discord, and you can jump in and get in voice calls with us. So, for those of you that don't know what 100 Thieves is, it is an esports organization owned by Nadeshot. Nadeshot is a former pro COD player, a former member of Optic Gaming, and a spin off of Optic Gaming. And he's also a full time streamer and content creator. He created this business less than a year ago.
Hmm.
He has signed some major names in the Fortnite community like Nick Merckx, Valkyrie now, who's huge. They have several pro teams for like League and Clash and stuff like that, and all their people stream. They encourage them to create content on top of what they do. But they also have a clothing brand and a couple other ventures. But most recently and notably, like a couple weeks ago, they partnered with Drake, and I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. He's a
Yeah, I don't know the other guy.
he's a big time like Time or Time Magazine's top 100 people to watch type of person. So needless to
Hmm.
say, it's about the explosion of esports, but mainly the fact that they are picking up content creators like it's going out of style, especially like Valkyrie. And again, don't shoot the messenger or shoot me if I'm wrong, but I don't think she plays like pro Fortnite. I know she plays Fortnite, but
I know she's in like tourneys and stuff, but I don't think she's like a top competitive like
mhm.
Fortnite player.
So, what do you think
Uh,
about the? I know you have been on some decent sized orgs in esports. What do you think of esports when it comes to content creation and streaming more so than obviously professional gaming?
I mean, I think honestly, I think it's great, especially for female streamers, because I think Valkyrie is a really great role model for
Hmm.
female streamers on Twitch. And it kind of shows you how far you can get as, I don't know, a girl streaming. You can get, picked up by 100 Thieves, which is awesome. But I'm kind of confused. I mean, what does she get out of it?
So I don't really know
Like,
what her role is either because they don't have. So most of these organizations, the way they're set up, for those of you that don't know, you get organizations like Rogue and Luminosity and stuff like that. They have pro rosters, people that compete and play in tournaments and stuff like that, and then they have what they call content creator stream teams, and those are people that, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the time these companies like they promote you and stuff like that, but 100 Thieves is a little different. All their content creators are listed on their teams. So Valkyrie is listed under their Fortnite team.
interesting.
So I don't know if she's going to be taking a professional spot at like actual events
Yeah.
or not. But I mean, I assume it's like most sponsorships. It's the exposure, it's the the benefits of having access to different uh content creation platforms, different video editors, graphic designers, stuff like that. I
But
don't know. Hmm.
when your stream is as big as Valky's is, I don't think you're really having problems finding graphics people.
I mean,
And I don't think
mhm.
You know what I mean? Or like promotion, like promoting your stream. I think at her level, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but maybe 100 Thieves really has like boosted her numbers. I honestly don't know, but I I think it's cool. I don't see the harm in it. I guess I just don't see for esports teams especially, I think that, it's good for them to obviously promote esports and
Mm-hmm.
like to have competitive teams, but when it comes to content creation it's kind of confusing for me. And I have been on one decent sized org who had competitive teams, but they also had a stream team, um, which was really difficult because it just basically turned into everybody promote your stream all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
it was not, it really didn't do anything for me, and I didn't really enjoy my time there. I didn't really network because everybody was just out to be like the biggest best streamer and just like spamming their Twitch link in any chat they possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
um and like the retweets and stuff didn't really garner the kind of attention or whatever that I really wanted. So like 100 Thieves is on a whole nother level than that. And Valkyrie is also on a whole other level. So it's really hard to compare those things. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's cool because I like my girl power is like, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like proud of her. I think it's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean,
Is Nick Merckx, is he a content creator or is he competitive?
no, he's competitive. Well, he's both
Oh,
because I mean,
okay.
he's one of the biggest Fortnite streamers on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
He's I don't think I've ever seen him streaming under 25,000 viewers or maybe 20, but
Mm-hmm.
his sub count is 40, 50,000. I mean, it's insane.
Oh,
But he's
okay.
also like his big promo banner in his YouTube videos is like how much money he's won in tournaments over like the last year, like 160 something thousand dollars in tournaments. So the kid's good.
Yeah.
He's the best thing on
Yeah.
controller, period. But I don't know if he was picked up. See, when he plays in those tourneys, I don't know if he plays for 100 Thieves or if he's just playing on his own. You know what I mean? Because I feel like some of their people, it's a clout thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, a status point for them. Like 100 Thieves is huge right now. And Scooter
Yeah.
Braun is the name of the other guy, by the way. I just saw Planet
Mm-hmm.
Res post it in chat, so thank you for that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but needless to say, the whole thing is that for her, and I see people saying it in the chat, she might be on a payroll too. I'm sure
Okay.
there is some kind of an agreement between the two of them. I'm sure she didn't just decide to rep 100 Thieves. I'm sure they made her. See, so I watched a little bit of her. There's a 17-minute video with her and Nate Shot, and it's super awkward and
Mm-hmm.
really uncomfortable. So if you get the
Yeah.
chance to go watch it and you want to watch some cringiness, it's definitely worth. But they do touch on the fact that she said how all these teams were approaching her
Yeah.
about getting on, and now I don't watch her enough to know if she's like good or decent or whatever. But I personally think that it's a half and half thing. You got to think that they're coming at her for the fact that her stream is so big. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she's a halfway decent Fortnite player.
Yeah.
Because if you're only hiring pro teams, I mean, half these pro guys don't even stream.
Right.
These guys that win these tournaments and everything. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just it's such an awkward, weird thing to be approached about, I feel like. But,
Yeah.
on that note, too, Michael Jordan just invested in what, Luminosity, I believe, or Rogue, one of the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which one. So it's definitely exploding, and I think you're going to see more and more people jumping on these teams, and it's going to be a much bigger thing than it used to be.
Yeah.
And
Well, what about other big time streamers? Like
mhm,
Ninja is on, what team is
Luminosity.
he on?
He's on Luminosity.
Luminosity. What about Tim? It like
Tim isn't. But Ninja
so
also used to play pro for Luminosity, so I don't know.
okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
if that's why he's still on, or that's how he got in the door and now he's done.
Yeah.
But he's still, I mean, obviously you're not dropping Ninja,
Yeah.
as Luminosity, you'd be out of your mind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess it's interesting to see what streamers choose to join orgs and what streamers choose to to I don't know, rep themselves. I'm even thinking like CDN the third. I think he's on Luminosity.
yeah, I think C's might
Um,
be. I know Dr. Lupo's on Rogue.
yeah, so I don't know what I don't know. There must be
They're definitely picking up content creators. That's no doubt.
yeah.
It used to be a thing for like smaller streamers, and I saw Khaleesi talking about it, and she actually, if you want to call in, she has some decent light to shine on that. But she was on set to Destroy for a little bit, and it was right around the time there was a lot of stuff, and it was a lot of speculated rumor and whatnot. But they exploded essentially internally, and everybody but their
Okay.
pro team left because of the way
Hmm.
they were kind of boosting their content creators into partnership by being on teams. And it was right around the time
Yeah.
that Twitch went away from the whole team mentality thing.
Hmm.
So I mean, I don't know, it's definitely changed a lot in like the, I don't want to say like the lower end streams of stream teams, but like these huge teams aren't taking on as many content creators as they were, or at least they seem to be a lot higher bar than they used to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things. It's really really good, I think, for the whole community, especially on Twitch, because it adds that extra aspect of the quote unquote competitive people, coming into the limelight and stuff like that. Because you look at all these guys like Shroud and, you know, Justin or J9 and all these guys that they were pro players first and then became streamers. And now you're seeing the reverse happen for a lot of guys.
Hmm.
So I think with the orgs picking up content creators, it kind of bridges that gap where it used to have to be like one or the other. Like the big thing about Shroud and everybody was talking about was when he was still on Cloud9 and he was streaming every night and he wasn't streaming CSGO, he was streaming PUBG. And then
Yeah.
they'd lose a pro match and everybody
Yeah.
would crucify him because he spent 18 hours the night before playing PUBG on his stream.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as
That's a
for
tough
like
place to be.
yeah, I don't know how they balance the two because I know these real deal places like the real deal pro teams and not every esports org on Twitter. Um,
Mm. Yeah.
they're they're in there 16, 18 hours a day playing scrims and doing all this crazy stuff. It's like
Yeah.
Overwatch League is always the example. Those guys are practicing 12 hours a day. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's an insane amount of
Yeah.
dedication, but I do know, and like people in the chat are talking about it. A lot of pro players have left to stream because the money is just so much better.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, outside of Overwatch League, I don't know unless it's huge pots. There's not really a lot of money in it. You're not on a steady paycheck. I mean, I'm sure C9 pays their players, but I highly doubt they're making what they're making in terms of like what Shroud makes on Twitch.
Well, then, can someone explain to me how a company like 100 Thieves gets the investors and the money? Because obviously, if you invest this money into a company like 100 Thieves and you have a team like League of Legends and they get this, they rent this huge house in California where many people can live and there's offices and just a huge place. Like, how do they make that money back? How do they make that money back?
I mean, merchandise I think is a big part of it. I mean, every kid under like 14 has some kind of phase piece of merchandise now, or ninja
Yeah.
or whatever. But the streaming too, because I so for anybody that's not on a stream team, when you get stream team or when you get on a stream team, there are two options that you can click. One is to share the statistics to your channel, and the other is to share the monetary information that has to do with your channel. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet that the guys that live in houses and stuff like that, they turn around and are splitting a small portion of what they're making on stream with the company, whether it be, some kind of standard percentage. But the other thing too is that they have huge, ad backers like Rocket Mortgage and Quicken Loans. You look at TSM's got Geico and all this other stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, these are pretty major league labels that are slapping their advertisements on, Twitch streamers pretty much. Just the
Mm-hmm.
teams as a whole. That's why you see everybody from TSM has the same like three different kind of banners that they have that either cycles through or just list all the things that they're sponsored by.
Yeah.
So I mean, outside of that though, I don't see where the return is. I guess unless they're making a lot of money in ads, and I don't know nothing about the market apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I don't know. There's obviously people wanting to invest in these esports teams and stuff. I just honestly, it's hard for me to figure out where they're getting their money back from,
Hmm.
but it must be coming in. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome. I wish I was 10 years younger and not married, uh, and I would go live in some shore house somewhere with three other
yeah.
geniuses that wanted to try to make it a thing.
Yeah.
So I laugh because you guys can't see it that are listening after the fact, but somebody that just followed the TRUgaming channel was named subscribe to PewDiePie.
No.
That's a strong Twitch name. Strong Twitch name. I thoroughly enjoy it. But anyway, sorry. I don't think PewDiePie's on any esports organization that I know of. I don't
No.
actually. How does that work for YouTubers? I know that you can technically live stream from YouTube, but like, are there YouTubers on esports teams? Is that a thing?
I mean the I mean, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of phase and optic people who do I mean, it just seems silly nowadays with YouTube in the state that it's in to to make content on YouTube over Twitch, I guess, when it comes to gaming anyways, because
Mm-hmm.
they're so censor heavy, but I think yeah, I mean definitely like optic and phase people for sure all over YouTube. Um
Yeah, the climate of
that's really
YouTube.
interesting.
That's a topic all
They
on its
must
own.
they must have contracts, I guess, to like obvious maybe like split their revenue or even like maybe the rights to their content. So maybe I don't know, maybe your gameplay is shared between you and FaZe.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if FaZe wants to take your content and make a montage out of it, they can, or
Yeah,
uh,
they could own portions of your
whatever.
content or something. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, I don't I don't really know. It's just such a weird concept to me, and I wish there was more upfront about it. I
Yeah.
wish there was more information out there on like when you get to that level, like a Valkyrie. Like you said, what
Hmm.
what real benefit is it to her to be on 100 Thieves other than because they're the hottest thing on the street right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it a clout thing? Like you're already sitting at 10K concurrent viewers. It's not like you're struggling. It's not like you're hurting here. So is it just a? I'm always all about branching out in other avenues, regardless of what level you're at. It's why you see
Yeah.
Ninja consistently doing things because
Yeah.
there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
But I really
Um.
wish there was more upfront info about it.
Yeah. What would you do? Like, let's say I don't know, a year from now, you're blowing up on Twitch, you're doing good things, and I don't know, let's say you're averaging 5,000 viewers, you're doing things on your own, maybe you get like an agent
Hmm.
to like maybe help you manage some things. What what would you do if like Optic came to you and said, "Hey, we want you to join our team as a content creator?" Would you say like, "Hey, I want to kind of represent myself and keep doing what I'm doing," or would you what would you do?
I think it would depend on where I was. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It depends on what level you're at. If I'm at like, let's just say some kind of crazy astronomical thing, like let's say I'm at 2,000 viewers, next
Mhm.
year, and an Optic comes to me and wants me to do it, then I'd probably do it, depending on what the agreement was. Only because
Mhm.
it gets your name out there more. It
Mhm.
it really pushes the boundary and exposes you more and more. It opens you up to big sponsorships that you possibly didn't have access to before. It opens you up
Mhm.
to a lot of free stuff because they always are, oh, we're sponsored by Logitech, we only use Logitech stuff, here's 12 different Logitech items, or here's a
Yeah.
DX racer and with the logo on it, whatever. Now if I'm at, let's say, like Valky numbers, I don't know if I would
Mhm.
do it. I don't know what, it would have to be greatly beneficial to me.
Because like if you're like, I don't know, pulling 10,000 viewers a stream, you probably don't have a hard time getting sponsorships, right? Like you probably
Yeah.
don't need to join a team to be sponsored by SteelSeries or Logitech or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Like she can probably pull those sponsorships regardless, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
I always look at like the top 10 or 15 or 20 of Twitch, and a lot
Mhm.
of them, it's like a 50-50 mix. Like you look at Lupo or Ninja, they're both on teams. But then you look at
Yeah.
somebody like Shroud, who is loosely associated with C9 as like a backup player, but he doesn't stream for them. And
Okay.
like Tim the Tapman, he's another one. He's not on a stream team. He just streams.
Yeah.
Mind you, all of these guys also are represented by, you know, the big Twitch managers, whether it be Omid's group, who has
Mm.
majority of them, and then like there's a
Yeah.
few others. But I mean, Ninja's repped by his wife. He's the smartest
Mhm.
one. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
I definitely, I don't know. It's an interesting way to look at it as what I would want to do, because at what point do I have to say, am I, is it my success now, or is it the org success, or am I successful because of the org, or is the org successful because of
Yeah.
me? I'm
Yeah.
sure Luminosity exploded after Ninja exploded. I'm sure everybody wants to be on Luminosity now because Ninja's on Luminosity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can tell you, I didn't know what jack nothing about Luminosity until Ninja blew up.
Yeah. Same.
I knew that it was a team, but outside of that, nothing. And now
Yeah.
you got guys like investing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into this stuff.
Mhm.
So, I mean, going forward between 100 Thieves and, I mean, Optic, the fact that that's the other thing for me with when it comes to the streaming end of it, is that Optic and 100 Thieves, they're literally living under the same roof. And that's such huge stuff for content creation. Or at least they were up until recently. I know because the guy Hector that runs Optic, and then Nade Shot who runs 100 Thieves, they were together constantly. So whether they were still living together or he was just always there, because
Mhm.
they put out vlog content like Khaleesi was talking about in the chat earlier. A lot of their YouTube stuff now is essentially IRL streaming or vlogging, whatever you want to call it, because they're not actually
Yeah.
streaming, they're editing these videos. But that's a
Mhm.
huge market on YouTube,
Yeah.
because these kids see somebody like, I mean, to be honest with you, if he didn't stream 12 hours a day, that would be a huge thing for Ninja. For him to just vlog his daily life, these people would eat it up. I mean,
Yeah.
he's making hundreds of $1,000s off YouTube just uploading, headshot montages. So it doesn't really matter, but it's just
And he
crazy to
doesn't
think about.
vlog or anything, does he?
No, I don't even know if he has Snapchat, to be honest with you. He also streams for
Interesting.
like 12 hours a day. I don't really know what you do outside of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. It's interesting.
I'm definitely. I want to see what the next couple months brings. I want to see what other big names jump on either 100 Thieves or a few other orgs, especially with people like Michael Jordan and Drake and other people investing. And I'm sure that's not going to be the end of it. You're going to see a lot of people putting a lot of money into it going forward,
Yeah.
which is great
Well,
for
and even to
Twitch.
keep an eye on Valky too, and just see like if her numbers start going crazy, then like maybe there really is something behind this whole esports org thing
I
as a
mean,
content creator.
so in that video, she talks about how like all these people were coming at her to join their organization or whatever, and then
Yeah.
she was like,
Yeah.
and then 100 Thieves came along and saved me, and I'm like, is that really what happened, or did they just show up with a bag of cash and they were like, hey, Nate was like, listen, this is gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I can't sit here and say like I feel like he's a genuine dude because like obviously I don't know him from a hole in the wall. But I
Yeah.
feel like he's been so ingrained in this community, in this kind of community for so long that it's kind of hard for him not to be transparent at this point,
Yeah.
at least for that kind of stuff. And obviously he wants his business to succeed, which it's obviously booming. But, so he's not going to go to anybody and try like Valkyrie, he's not going to go to her, sign her, use her for 6 months and then be like, "All right, get out." Because
Yeah.
what benefit would that be to him other than just making his name, smearing his name and making him look like an idiot?
Yeah.
But again, I really think that a lot of this is Ninja, though. A lot of it was the explosion of Ninja on Twitch. It exposed more people and it opened up a lot more markets than it used to.
Yeah.
MW Soldier said it in the chat, hit the nail on the head that Ninja opened a lot of doors for streamers overall. And that includes somebody like Nadeshot to open up an organization that is now being backed by Drake.
Yeah.
This should just be called the Praise Ninja Show. But anyway, I have no problem with it. I know some people do. But
Yeah.
But
I think it
anyway,
works.
guys, you are more than welcome to call in with topics or if you would like to talk about this or a different topic. Because otherwise, I'm going to start grabbing some questions that you can also ask in the chat or in the Discord if you are not already in the Discord.
Sodomi.
So for those of you that listen to this at home, if you ever get a chance every once in a while, go watch a VOD and try to line up the times a little bit. They'll always be a little bit off, but you'll laugh pretty hard at the fact that some of the stuff that goes on in chat that we kind of glance over is pretty insanely ridiculous. um, so there is a question in the Discord that states, I'm a fairly new streamer focusing on Pokemon the card game. It took me a second to figure out what TCG was as an abbreviation, but anyway. And the video game content. How do I self-promote without coming across like I'm taking something away from other people? I'm not too sure what that question's asking. It's like two questions, maybe? How do I
Yeah, I don't.
self-promote, but then like you're taking away from someone else or from other people? Where are you self-promoting?
So like the first thing I'm going to say about that is don't self-promote because you shouldn't have to I mean, well, okay, the way I'm taking this is if you're thinking you're going to be something taking something away from other people, I'm assuming that you're self-promoting in someone else's space. So if that's Discord or Twitch or wherever, just really don't do that. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I'm not huge on self-promotion
I
in other
mean,
people's
neither am
spaces.
I'm bigger on networking and developing relationships, not
Yeah.
self-promoting and whatnot. But I really wish I could answer your question better, West One Wade. But unfortunately, there needs to be a little more clarification on what you're asking with that. I just like I wouldn't randomly drop my link in a Twitch chat. That's for sure. That's a fast ban for 90% of people.
Yeah.
other than that, unless there's like a self promo portion of a Discord or something like that, I
If
I don't
if you
know
come
what
into my
we would do.
stream, yeah, if you come into my stream and I don't know, you spend a few weeks getting to know me and my community, and you mention like, oh, I had a nice stream this morning or whatever, and you're not like posting your stream link or wherever, like in my Discord everywhere or in my Twitch chat everywhere, just to kind of like put that in my head, like, oh man, this so and so, or like A4 streams, like, oh cool, A4's been in here getting to know us all for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think A4 is like, a friend. So maybe I'll drop you a follow, and when I have a chance, I'll go check out your stream. And then if I think you have a decent stream, I'll give you a host or whatever. Just like a more natural way of just like building a relationship first. Um,
I agree
and
with
even
that.
still being very, very careful about mentioning your stream, or I
But
don't know.
on the other side of the coin with that, though, how many people do we know that will say that every morning? You know what I mean? So you'll come into a Discord and be like, "Oh, hey, I had an awesome stream this morning. Oh, hey, my stream was
Yeah.
kind of rough this morning. Oh, hey, and this is going on for days and days and don't be that guy either, or that girl.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I get to know somebody for weeks and they never mention that they stream, then I know that they were genuinely getting to
Yes.
network with me and getting to know me without wanting to mention to me that they're streaming at all. You know what I mean?
No, no, I agree
But
with that.
yeah, no,
I more so mean it as in don't even after that fact, don't become a repetitive person
yeah,
with
yeah,
it at
yeah,
that point because it
yeah.
happens, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But there's somebody in the waiting room. It's Lit, who I was trying to get to come on as a third guest tonight, and apparently couldn't. But I guess he can call in, so we'll do that.
Well, well, well.
Hi, Lit.
Hi. Oh, I
Good
gotta mute the
morning.
stream. Good morning, please. Hi. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello. Hi.
You got
How's it going?
questions,
You
Lit?
guys live? Do I have questions?
You want
Yeah.
to talk about 100 Thieves? What you want to talk about?
Hey, Lit, but
Dude.
before you start though, this is a PG place, just so you know.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm glad she reminded me because I might have dropped more swear words. So I'm pretty bad at that. 100 Thieves. Hmm. Oh, that's what I want to ask Snoop. Do you even know? Like, did you even know who 100 Thieves were? Like before this?
What do you mean
Like, did you
before?
actually know? Like, did you like? Do you know like who runs it and what they are?
I know
Like,
Nade
did you
Shot
know?
started it, and I know it's been around for a little bit. I don't know like all the deep, dark details of 100 Thieves. You're way more into this stuff than I am, so speak on it.
Oh, the only thing I really know is he just started his own brand. They have a COD team. I think just a COD team that I remember. I think that's it. I think it's just Call of Duty they have for now. I don't know if they have any other
They
esports.
they have COD, 2 League
They
of Legends team, Fortnite, and Clash.
Well, there you go. See, I didn't know any of that. I just knew COD because that's all I watched. So I just knew
This
COD.
man comes in here for everybody listening at home asking me if I know about this thing like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen.
Then he comes in and tells me they got a COD
No,
team.
I didn't know. I wasn't educated, so I needed to know.
Was that your question?
Yeah. What?
Oh, man.
What? Why you guys look? Listen,
Just because the way you approached that was just rough, man. Coming here trying to call me out, make me look foolish.
No, I just didn't know.
Wasn't even the intention, but still.
It was. I wasn't in the loop. All I know is I wake up, eat food, and yeah, that's it.
All three of us are unsponsored now.
Look, Snoop brought me last minute, so I thought I should. Yeah, he
I
dragged me
asked
by
you
my
2
ear.
days ago.
Heck no!
I got DMs to prove it.
Last minute. They're like, hey, bro, you want to do this? And I was like, oh.
Last minute.
I was like,
2 days ago. All right.
No.
Anyway.
2 days ago. I was like, anyways, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
So, for those of you that don't know who this guy is, where can they find you, Lit?
Twitter. It's lit with 2 underscores, and as well as Twitch. Same thing, lit with 2 underscores, twitch.tv. Just be warned that it is 21 plus.
You serving booze in that stream? Nobody told me? What?
No, it's not even that. I just make people very
Lit, Let's got a potty
It's
mouth
not
chat.
PG. It's not PG friendly.
Neither's my stream.
Also, lit with 2 eyes, because that's a unique way to spell lit.
Oh yeah.
So like 2 eyes and 2 underscores.
See, Kass knows. See, she
Because
knows. She knows.
I mean,
LIIT___ chat. Because nothing like making it super complicated.
Oh no, I try to make it easy, and people spell it like 4 eyes, 2 eyes, 1 eye, 6 eyes, 3 eyes. It's like, oh.
I always used to spell it with 2 T's, so it's fine. I still do sometimes.
same.
Did you just change the topic? Why did you? Why did you guys change the topic?
For those of you that can't see it at home, I changed the topic to "It's lit" because I figured it was
Someone has a
appropriate.
question for you, Snoop.
Who's got questions?
Who's got a question? Sodomi.
Monetizing streams. Sodomi, elaborate on your question a little bit. We'll keep lit because lit's a sellout. We'll keep lit in here for this one.
Hey, what? Okay. He's not wrong. He's not wrong either. All right, what are you guys spelling my name like 12 different ways? What's this? What's going on here?
So
it's L.
If for general monetization, I mean,
what does that mean?
It all depends on what you want from Twitch too. I mean, are you trying to treat this as a job, or as a part-time gig, or just some extra money, or? All right, so Sodomi says best monetization. I'm just gonna put money as the topic, by the way, chat, because I can't spell, and apparently I can't spell money either. But anyway, so Sodomi asked best monetization methods for a small streamer if you're trying to get a consistent paycheck. And he's yelling this in all capital letters for those of you that can't see it. What do you think, Kass?
I
tough
don't know.
questions out here.
There's no real guaranteed way to make money on Twitch. So I guess the best methods are to push to be affiliated, because the easiest methods to get money on Twitch is through subs and bit donations. And I don't know, maybe enticing people to sub to you with sub perks, doing movie nights or special sub games or sub giveaways or anything along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. What do you think, Snoop? That's what's coming to mind for me. But
let's football it to Lit, since he's the special one today. What do you think, Lit? Since you're the sellout.
Well, BPG. That'd be a start. There's a lot of, honestly, like there's a lot, like if you go on like some, not all channels, but there's a lot of like the big streamers that are family friendly, and they make more money than people that have 18 plus, in my opinion, that I've noticed. If you, because 13 and up can watch and they can subscribe, so that's a 5-year gap you have compared to 18 plus streamers where you can make more money. But at the same time, you got to be careful what you say, because if you have your stream as 13 plus or whatever, and you're dropping words or saying whatever, your channel may or may not be with Twitch anymore. So there's a great cost and a great benefit. It's a 50-50 thing. For me personally, like I said, 13 plus is the way to go. Unless you have a potty mouth, then I'd say 18 plus.
Yeah, I mean, so Twitch can be sticklers if you do not mark your stream as mature. 13-year-olds or 8-year-olds or 5-year-olds want to come into your stream and hear you dropping F-bombs, that's on them. But you have to make sure you properly mark your stream, otherwise you can face ban and all that fun stuff. But me personally on this subject, you got to be smart about it. You got to be very smart about it. If you really want to utilize your money, you have to sell out without actually being a sellout, if that makes sense. You want to treat this as a business and a job, you have to do it smart. But it all comes back to the main key components of streaming, in my opinion. It's consistency. It's being able to, stay within your boundaries of your time frame. People can trust that you're going to be there, which will incentivize them to support you because now they know, oh, this guy's here Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. You know, I really like his content. I really enjoy being able to log on at lunch at work for an hour and know he's going to be there playing some game and being funny or whatever else. So if that's the case, then you turn around and you want to keep him on there, so you're going to support him. And you roll it that way. You can be very upfront too. There's a lot of people that do it. I personally am not a huge one to do it, but there's a lot of people that will do goals and stuff like that. If this is my, you know, if this is my full-time job, then this is how much money I need to, you know, live in my apartment this month. I don't do it that way. I recently got rid of what I like to call the sellout bar. Actually, not even recently. I haven't had the sellout bar in a long time, but what I consider the sellout bar, and this is a very unpopular opinion for some reason, I don't know why, but is the bar at the bottom of your chat, or the bar at the bottom of your stream, or the top of your stream, or the left or right, wherever you put it, that lists your most recent donator, your most recent subscriber, your top donator, your top this, your most recent that. Listen, they don't need any extra recognition. A thank you. I'm not saying don't be appreciative of it, but you also don't need to throw it in everyone's face that, you know, Lit donated $200 to my channel. And then my other thing with that is, all right, so I go into a channel like let's say I go into Lit's channel and I see somebody just drop $200. Now I'm going to be like, well, why am I going to donate $5? Because now it's not going to mean anything because he just got a $200 donation. And, you know, he was thanking you and whatever, and he made a thing out of it, but he's probably not going to do the same for $5 now. So, whatever. Not worth it. Don't care. I do like the idea of getting rid of the quote-unquote sellout bar. I don't put my personal stuff on stream when it comes to finances or anything else. I am never going to sit there and tell my stream, you know, if I'm struggling to pay my electric bill. Oh, you know, I got to figure out if I'm buying groceries this week or turning my heat on. I'm not going to be that guy. It's never been how I am. So, again, it works different ways for different people, but you'll never see me have a donation goal because, you know, my water heater broke. Or, you know, I won't even put up donation goals because I want a new PC or I want new PC parts. It's not how I am personally, and I don't think it yields people to give you money, at least in my opinion. And from my experience with my kind of community, I have never had a situation where, like, I felt that I could turn around and be like, hey, guys, you know, I'm really struggling here. My water heater's broken and I don't know what we're gonna do and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I got a full-time job. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm in a decent position. My wife's got a decent job. We live decently, you know what I mean? We don't live out of our means either. And I will say, if you're trying to go full-time and do all this other stuff, that don't have these crazy expectations that you're gonna be ninja or anything like that. You know, I was in a stream the other night that literally had a bar at the bottom, was like my monthly expenses, and it was like $5 out of 2,000 with 3 days left. What are you doing? How are you going to live?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't think there's any one cookie cutter way to do it. A lot of it is knowing your community to monetize your streams. But personally, unless you're in a position where you've been doing this so long and this is a full-time thing and you have a consistent community and you know that is a steady income for you and you can make it work, I would never bank on Twitch money. I say it all the time. Twitch money is a bonus.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see Duff's talking about creative. And how it's a little different because of the supplies and the viewers want to help them buy the supplies and stuff like that. Listen, I've had the chair I'm sitting on is bought by a viewer. I mean, it's not like, but I didn't come out and say, hey, I need a new chair. Like, I complained that my ass hurt one night. and I was sitting in some like $100 Staples chair that was like garbage. And we went back and forth about it, and then he donated money for me to get a chair. That's awesome. I appreciate it to this day, to no end. But I'm not going to ask you for money, and I also don't treat that guy any different than the guy who's never donated or subbed to my channel.
Yeah.
I give no extra recognition to people that drop money. I mean, obviously, I'm going to thank you and stuff like that, and we'll talk. But I'm not going to, like, go... No, but seriously, you see it too much. How many people sell out and you look like a fool? You let people own you. It's crazy.
Oh no, it's a lot.
You let people dictate what you're doing on stream. Pay me $20 and I'll play whatever game you want. I don't personally, when it comes to my stream, I very rarely play with viewers, and the only reason I do that is it's very hard to stream and manage people in a Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And people be like, oh, we'll donate money and play. No, I'm not doing it. It's not happening. I'm not doing Sellout Sunday because I'm not soda poppin' rich. I'm not watching your crappy video for 30 seconds for $3 because I'm not soda poppin'. I can't charge you $40 to watch crappy videos. You want to waste my time with some trolly scream video? Then you're damn right you're going to be paying me like 40, 50 bucks.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm doing it for $5.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys got any more thoughts on it?
No, I agree with you 100%. You don't want, like, there's times where you but can have the opportunity to sell out. But there's other times where you can't. Like you said, for example, like I see some streamers, and cool for them if they succeed in it. Where, like on Fortnite, for example, they'll on the bottom left or bottom right of their stream, they'll be like, $5 equals play match with me for 2-3 matches, or $10 and I'll do this and that. Like, it's cool if you want to do that, but it's not going to help you in the long run. It's just going to have you're going to be a staple of, oh, this guy just wants money and really doesn't care about what.
Where are you getting this clout to be asking for that kind of money though? Unless I'm not trying to pay you unless you're Tifu or Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Some
Kass.
people, dude, you'd be surprised.
I will say, out of the very few ASMR streams I've been in, they all do that. They all do that. Like, a sub gets an extra 10 minutes of stream. Like, they'll extend their stream, kind of like how, some streamers do like subathons or whatever. Like, almost all of the ASMR streamers I've ever wandered into, not really because that doesn't matter, but like, that doesn't matter. But just like, they all they all do that. And it doesn't seem weird in that community for them to extend their streams for cash, which is really weird to me.
That's majority of the IRL market, I think. Not even it's predominantly ASMR, I agree. But I think that's a lot of IRL is very like there's some girl that I've been following forever when she was small. Now she's got a larger stream and I can't even go in there now because it's just painful. Like,
yeah,
your IRL streaming, you listening to music and talking to your chat, which is cool. I do it for like the first 45 minutes of my stream, but I'm not doing it and then somehow like monetizing it by asking for money in some way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not asking you money for me to like play Twister and do weird stuff. It just bugs me out. Like, I feel like if I did IRL streaming, it would be like Greek God or like Soda Poppin', and it would just be like the game of what stupid shit can I do without getting in trouble. And I wouldn't be doing it for money. Half the time I wouldn't even be looking at chat, but that, like, I can watch that kind of content for hours, but I can't watch some girl sit there and do ASMR and pay her money. Can't do it.
Yeah.
See, so somebody in the chat just said squats for subs. See, it's funny, but it's funny because it's true. People do it all the time.
Yep.
And like,
or they'll show other stuff.
Ain't nobody trying to get me to do squats for subs. I have sold twerks. I have sold twerks on Twitch chat. I will fully disclose that. But I charge more money every single time. See, there's a way to monetize your stream. I started off with $5 twerks, then it was $10 twerks. Now we're up to like almost $40 in twerks. Get at me. My PayPal's the same. Never mind, I'm kidding. I will not twerk on the TRUgaming channel unless you donate large amounts of money to charity this weekend.
Sure.
Please don't.
If you donate
Oh.
large amounts of money to the charity stream this weekend, I might.
I want to be able to sleep without seeing that.
You love it.
Hey, no.
You can say hell lit.
Negative.
We're not on like public access here.
Don't you raise your voice. Don't you raise your voice.
Listen, you told me to be PG, so I'm refraining, aiding, skating, whatever that word is.
English is hard, but yes. So not to stray too far away from it, but that is a way to monetize your stream. As foolish and weird as it sounds, that stuff works for some people. You do like tier goals or stretch goals and stuff like that. Like you kind of see it. We do it with charity streams all the time, and I sell out so hard during charity streams, but because it's for a good cause. But you do stretch goals in charity streams. Hit $500, we'll do this. Hit $1,000, we'll do this. Hit $2,000, we'll do this. You can kind of do the same thing with your stream if you're that kind of person with that kind of community. $10 we'll play, Red Dead for an extra hour. $20 I'll do my placements in Overwatch and want to jump out my window. Stuff like that. It's tough. It's tough to make that transition, and you have to have the community for it. Like, if I came onto my stream tomorrow and started telling people, you're going to give me money and da-da-da-da-da, then it's not going to work. My community's going to be like, what's wrong with you? Well, why are you doing this? What happened? Why are you asking me for money all of a sudden? But
Well, that's also because that's kind of how you've grown your stream. Also in that way, you've kind of set the expectation that those things don't happen in your stream. And so if you were tomorrow just to change it up and be like, well, hey, $10 for me to twerk on stream, everyone would be like, why is Snoop suddenly selling out? It wouldn't be natural.
Yeah.
I
think I'd be more inclined to sell out if this was my full-time job.
Yeah.
Because this is how I put food on my table, but it's just, I don't know. It's so tough for me.
I don't know. For me, it would be easier. I don't know. I wouldn't feel right sitting in front of my computer asking people to give me money to pay my bills and not be actively out there looking for a job.
Yes.
Because if I get a job, even if I get a part-time job for 20 hours a week at McDonald's every day, that's like the guaranteed money I'm going to get. On Twitch, you're never going to be guaranteed to get anything. So I don't know. It's just hard for me to get behind that idea.
Yeah, I watched Moonmoon Overwatch one time. He literally sat in the loading screen of his stream because his chat made him get a camera and wanted him to play a scary game. And he told them, until I get 100 subs, not only am I not going to play the game, but I'm not going to turn the camera on. And he sat there for half an hour till he got his 100 subs, and then he streamed. But that's how his community is. That is how his whole stream has always been, and it's how it's based. It's just he's one of the biggest names on Twitch, or at least was until Fortnite. But he's still a 10,000 viewer variety streamer, and that's hard to do these days. But that's his community. He also says profane things to his community and tells anybody that's not a sub that they're a pleb and they don't deserve to talk. But his chat is a disaster, though. Like, it's a war zone. The fact, like, stuff we ban people, like me, I ban people, and that's saying something because I don't ban anybody. And he just lets it go. Doesn't care. It flies. So yeah, there's a million different ways that people will pay money. People like to get yelled at, I guess. I don't know. That was one of my favorite things, though. So don't ever believe that you can't monetize anything. He literally monetized his face and gameplay on a gameplay platform. Denied people gameplay until they paid him money.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
So Sodomi has another question. Sodomi, full of good questions tonight. Sodomi asks, what should a person look for while reviewing their VODs? So I guess I'll shoot over the question first is, do you watch your VODs?
Oh, yeah, that I don't.
All right, so I'm the only one that's going to answer this question, apparently. Because nobody else watches their VODs. I don't watch all of my VODs.
Why?
The first one to admit that. Why would I watch all of my VODs? Why would I do that?
No, why would you watch them at all?
Yeah, no, right? Why would
So-
you
whole stream? Why would
exactly?
you to watch them?
So I do it if I see a big dip. So if I'm averaging 30 viewers, let's say, and then all of a sudden my viewership drops to 15 or 10 that night, I'm like, oh, what happened? Now, some people monitor their audio. I don't monitor my audio because there's no way I can listen to myself talk for the entire time I'm streaming. I'll go insane. So that's the first reason I do it, is to see if maybe my quality went to hell. You know, my mic sounds like crap, or the video looks bad, or whatever the case may be. Then I watch to see why it's happening. Do I look like garbage? Am I just not interacting? Am I tired? Do I not want to be here?
Cass has a random.
Yes, Cass. Go ahead.
It's okay. Just get back to me when you're done.
Okay.
So I want you all to know that you can't see this, but Cass has this look on her face where she looks like she's going to come through the screen and attack me, so this comeback should be good. But anyway, so I look for stuff like that. A lot of my watching VODs is technical stuff, and I don't sit there and watch the 4-hour VOD of my stream either. I skip through it and just see what was what, especially if it's like a dip point or a low point or chat dies, or I try to figure out what it was. Is it the game I'm playing? Is it the fact that I'm just like that day, or, you know, whatever. But go ahead, Cass.
For technical stuff, don't you have people in your chat that'll tell you like, hey, your audio has just suddenly turned to crap? Like,
I do now.
Won't somebody say that to you? Or like, hey, suddenly your stream is buffering like every 2 seconds. Or I don't know.
I do now, but I didn't always.
Okay.
You know, you got to think of it from 0 to 100. It's because how many times does that happen where, like, I remember being new and I'd be muted and wouldn't even know it because I had a bot in my chat, and like one random guy would come in there and be like, "Oh, you're muted," and that was 2 hours after I was muted. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's some of those things you're just like, oh.
The way you said that.
But seriously, that's what it is, because you know it's just some random person that's never gonna come back. You're just gonna be like, "Oh, you're muted."
Like, oh yeah, you're
I mean,
muted. Oh, sorry. Oh.
I mute my stuff all. First of all, I still do it. I've been doing this for a year. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. The other day, I played half of my game with my full screen cam off. Everybody just stared at me while I looked at the game. You know how long it took them to tell me that? By the way? So yeah, you can't always bank on the chat. The chat loves to just do stupid stuff like that. They, oh, look at this idiot. He's playing Fortnite. I hear all the gunshots and his dumb face is just on the screen. Like, they love that. Are you kidding me? So, you think they won't troll you? But no, I get what you're saying, and I agree with that too. You would hope that your community would tell you. But at the same time, there's a lot of beneficial stuff too. You can look and see, like, your video quality might not always be garbage, but I've watched my VODs where, like, all of a sudden my video quality cuts out for a little bit. Like, not cuts out, but like drops dramatically for no reason, or I get stutters or skips or whatever. And I have to look and be like, all right, well, nobody said anything because it only lasted 10 or 15 seconds and then it went away. But me, I want to know why it happened. I want to know why I was stuttering. Was I doing something on the side? Was I over here typing in Spotify and playing a song or whatever? It's stupid little stuff like that. I don't think I don't do it nearly as much as I used to when I first started. I will say that. But I don't know. I can totally see your point of view. I lived it. I don't go back to like reminisce about what happened. I lived the thing. I don't even like clips because I always feel like
I
an
mean,
idiot.
I barely have time to stream, so I don't have time to go back and watch it all over again. But
No. Well, I can tell you in a 4-hour video, I'll probably watch 5 minutes of it tops. I am literally
yeah.
just skimming through it to see what's what. But the analytic page, for those of you that don't know, when you go to your stream summary, I think it breaks it down in what, 15-minute blocks or 5-minute blocks, whatever it is. But all those little bar graphs where your viewership goes up and down, whatever, you can click on any one of those and it will directly bring you to the point in the VOD.
Wait,
from
Oh.
that.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, so the bar graph that shows up in your stream summary, where it shows your viewership up and down, it's a great tool because all of a sudden you're at, let's say you're 15 viewers, then all of a sudden you dip to 5 and you're sitting at 5. You can click at the first point that you went down to 5 viewers and see what's different. And it'll directly bring you to that point at that exact time in the VOD. I mean, you might have to fast forward here and there a little bit to get like catch up to the exact point, but it pretty much puts you in that window, which is nice. So yeah, little pro tip for those of you that don't know.
That is so cool. I didn't know that.
You guys don't use your analytic pages nearly enough.
Boy, I don't even look at my own VOD.
Yeah, everything I know about the stream summary page, I know from Snoop teaching me.
That is so
Because-
cool.
Yeah.
It all depends. See, I make that joke all the time. I'm a numbers person, but I'm also a person that can look at my numbers. I can watch my numbers drop 10, 15, 20, average over a couple weeks, and I might have a little bit of a minor breakdown, but I'm not going to dwell on it and lose my mind. There are some people that cannot look at numbers. People look at numbers and they freak out. So
I hate
it's
looking
just,
at numbers.
Yeah, it's some people it just does not work for. And my headset's dying in my ears. That was fun. So yeah, I do keep my viewer count hidden. I definitely do that only because I find it's less stressful for me and I'm less worried about it if I don't see it. So if I don't see
same.
what my viewership number is, I'm just playing the game. I'm having a good time. A lot of the time I can kind of guess where my viewership number is based off my chat activity.
Yeah.
If my chat is slow, I'm going to assume that I have lower numbers. If my chat is moving at a regular pace or a decent pace, I'm going to assume normally where I am. But I also say all the time, like, my chatter numbers compared to my viewer numbers, like, I don't get it sometimes. I mean, I love all y'all that chat, don't get me wrong, but people work hard.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me to see that. But yeah, use your analytics page. At least glance over it every once in a while. There's a lot of very useful information in there. Yeah, see,
I'm looking at it right now, and it's like,
the channel
I get
page
that email
too.
that like Stream Elements sends you after you're done streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, cool. That's what my viewer average was. That's how many new follows I got. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's all I need to know.
I will say, be very careful. Not very careful, but just don't. Your average view count Twitch compared to those websites is normally off by 2 or 3, and that's only because they count bots, or Twitch does not.
Yeah.
But that's not a huge deal at all. But if y'all got questions, we might have answers. I don't know. I don't want to guarantee nothing here. I do love lurkers. I do love my lurkers. I'm a hardcore lurker myself, by the way. I want to throw that out there. So it doesn't really I never get upset over lurkers. It's just funny sometimes when I look at I'll see my stream summary and I'm like, wow. Like, my chat didn't move all nearly as much as I thought it would have with that number. But
It might be the times that you're streaming, because like I know some streams that I watch during the daytime for me, like I'm at work and I'll have the stream up, but like I can't actively chat, So like I'm watching and lurking, but I'm not chatting. And a lot of times I don't want to chat unless I can have a full conversation, because I feel bad if I have to like step away or can't respond,
Oh, I'm very bad with that.
Oh, I know. I know you are.
I can fully admit that I'm the worst one with that. I did that in Lit stream tonight. I said hi to Lit. and then I was
Oh,
doing
dude, I'm
14
used to
other
it.
things.
I do the same thing.
And then I
I'm not
I
even
ghosted
gonna-
out. And people be like, "Oh, where'd you go?" And I do it in Discord all
bro,
the
don't
time.
worry.
So the reason Cass gets upset, by the way, a little behind the scenes info for you guys, is I'll type like "Good morning" in Cass's Discord, and then I'll ghost for like 3 hours.
Yeah, but then you'll say like, "Hi, how's your day?" And I'm like, "Oh, good. How's your day?" And then like 2 hours later, you come and you say, "Hi, how's your day?" again, and I'm like, "I already answered that like 2 hours ago, and you didn't respond."
Hey, listen, I'm a busy guy here. Okay, Discord mobile's a pain. You gotta at me. I tell people all the time,
Rude.
at me on Discord. Then I can
I
find
still
it.
won't even answer.
That's not true. I always answer.
Debatable.
Wouldn't VODs be a good tool for someone who's a streamer over somebody who's been doing it for a longer period of time? Yes, I fully believe that they're awesome when you first start, especially if you don't have anyone to give you feedback. If you don't have a chat to tell you that you're muted or to tell you that your video looks like garbage or whatever the case may be, then your VODs are your best friends. I do encourage people to, even before they go live, to monitor their audio. I don't listen to myself, but like even today, I changed, for those of you that have been here before and can see me right now, I completely moved my setup today to accommodate a couple things, and it screwed up a whole bunch of stuff. So I had to monitor all of my audio and make sure everything was good for tonight, because I had no idea if it was going to work when we went live. So I will say it doesn't hurt to do that either as a new person, to jump in and use OBS's features like audio monitoring, and you can see I forget the website, Twitch has it, but there's a way to test stream where you can stream without actually being live and see how it looks and how it performs. Because it might not look bad in OBS while you're playing the game, while you're not streaming, and then you're live, and now the computer's doing even more work to fully encode it and send it out, and it's just becomes a mess. Single PC
Yeah,
struggles.
the you can stream, you can go live without going live by adding a chunk of text to your stream key, the end of your stream key. I forget what it is, but you can find it online somewhere. And also, you can test your stream with some OBS website that actually will tell you, like, if you're dropping frames or whatever, you just plug in your logs from your OBS file and it'll tell you, like, hey, your GPU is overloaded. And it'll give you like little tips to help fix the problem, which is really, really awesome. But yeah, for VODs, definitely audio. When I watch a new streamer, sometimes I'm like extra delicate when it comes to like brand new streamers. So because I want them to keep streaming and I don't want them to be discouraged by like technical problems. So there are many times that I'll go into a stream and you can tell the streamer is fairly new and their audio isn't set up right. Like either they're way too quiet and the game audio is way too loud, or the other way around. And it's not a big enough deal for me to not be able to hear them or hear the game or whatever, but I won't mention it because I don't know how to explain it. I just don't want to like discourage them from streaming and then be like flustered or like I don't know how to explain it. So definitely in those situations, like if you're a newer streamer, definitely watch your VODs and say like, hey, I think my game sound needs to be a little louder or whatever. Because audio is like a big thing that a lot of people get wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I had horrible audio when I first started. Audio is a big thing. Audio filters. Use your audio filters. There are plenty of
I
YouTube
don't have
videos.
any.
Yeah,
Wait, you use
why?
audio filters?
Yeah, that's why you don't hear any background noise ever.
Oh,
Why
I don't
it's
even use
dead.
that.
You might hear it now in Discord, but you like the stream would never hear background audio from it. The reason I do that is because it keeps it from hearing, you know, fans running in your computer, stuff like that, ambient noise in the background. It's obviously not going to cure loud sirens and people yelling outside, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do just via OBS, and then you can go even farther with hardware, which is the goal. But Yeah, I have noise suppression, I have noise gates, I have compressors too, because I won't do it to you guys because you're in Discord. But if I can yell at the top of my lungs in this room and it won't go over a certain level, at least to the stream, it would to your ears. You'd hear me screaming like a lunatic, but the stream would only hear me at a little bit higher than I am now. And that's very important for somebody like me because I'll kill headphone users. I scream constant.
Yeah, the filters we're referencing, I think, are through OBS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure if you can add any kind of mic filters through console. I'm going to say probably not, but it would be worth looking into.
Yeah, I think unless you were streaming like through a capture card or something like that, I don't know if they have anything available. But I will say that headset mics are easily the best mics to stream with, and people think I'm crazy for that, but they're specifically designed to do all of the things I just described via video games. That's why you see guys like Nick Merckx who still uses a headset mic. Tyler One still uses a headset mic. Summit 1G up until last year still used a headset mic. It's because they're easily the best microphone for what we do. But you can't get the best of the best sound quality out of them. So I think on console, you're almost, if you're using a headset, you're really not in a bad place because it's definitely never going to hurt you. Let's say that much. But I do enjoy it. I mean, I'm an audio guy. I love things to sound good. I didn't like when I sounded like crap. I didn't like when you heard like that. So this microphone, the gain has to be decently high. You don't hear that ooh, ooh in the background and stuff like that. So good audio is important. Also, it keeps you from punching your monitor. But does anyone have any other questions or comments before we wrap up tonight's episode? Lit? Do you have anything
Hey.
else? Hi.
There's a question from Autobot, bro. You want me to read it? I'll read it.
Yeah, go ahead. You can read it. You're the special guest that's not on the screen.
Oh, thanks, Dad. All right. How do I stop being so socially awkward? I don't talk unless I'm really just interested in a topic like comic book characters. Just ask Kass. Well, for example, my streams will be dead sometimes, and you will just talk literally about anything, like the game, like something happens, just talk about it or whatever first comes to your mind. Like for me, food. I literally talk about food almost all the time. And believe it or not, that can go a long way for conversations, and it's a terrible example. But you got to practice on, being able to talk to yourself really well. If you don't talk to yourself really well, then it's going to be kind of hard. You're going to have an awkward pause, or it's just going to be silence for like 5-10 minutes, but maybe a couple minutes. And it's just going to be really awkward. So practicing by talking to yourself, you know what? It sounds weird, but I used to do it in the mirror. I would talk to myself in the mirror for a good 5-10 minutes. And I did that every single day. And now I'm able to do it just fine. Yes, I still struggle here and there, but nowhere like before. So that's what I would do if I were you, Autobot.
What do you think, Cass?
I agree. Like even I don't know, when I'm playing the game, the game I'm playing, the thoughts I'm having about the game, I'll just say out loud. Like whatever my plan is. Like I'm playing Forza. Oh my gosh, this car really sucks. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at braking, and I need to get a new paint job on this car. And just like speaking out loud is just really important because it gives people an opportunity who are maybe lurking in your stream to maybe jump into like what you're thinking, or I don't know, initiate some kind of conversation. I think definitely talking to as weird as it sounds to say like talking to yourself, it's really actually good standard practice to talk to yourself. It prepares you for a lot of things in life, aside from just streaming. But yeah, any like public speaking class you're going to take or whatever, they're definitely going to tell you practice in the mirror or whatever. So I agree with what Lit said.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page with all that. I mean, it's funny enough. I did a stream the other night or the other morning. Gotta stop saying night. Um, and I went through videos from when I like first started, well, clips from like first started. Not only was my audio awful, but I was so awkward. I didn't say anything, and I was just so stared directly at my screen and didn't do anything. It takes time. It's definitely not like an overnight thing. But what I will tell you, like you talked about comic books and stuff like that. You like that stuff. You are so knowledgeable on stuff like that. Throw it in your title and then just talk about it. Even if you're talking to yourself, just talk about like you went through that whole spiel about Venom and Spider-Man and how Venom became Spider-Man or Spider-Man became Venom. I don't really remember, but you were so detailed on it. And if you just monologue that because it's something you know, something you're comfortable with, then it'll just get easier and easier. And you'll see people when you're coming in and like I know you do like pixel art and stuff like that. If you're doing, you know, Spider-Man or Venom or whatever, you have that knowledge. So while you're doing it, just talk about it. You know, oh, I'm doing this Spider-Man. He's from this comic or this thing or whatever. You know, it's just a bridge the gap type thing. It's something you're comfortable talking about. I could sit here all day and talk nonsense about what I do for work or just, I mean, I sing half the time because I don't know what I'm doing. But it takes time. I was incredibly socially awkward. I was so it was so funny because I have no problem talking to people in person. It was here. It was on Twitch. I was uncomfortable being on camera and talking to people and not knowing what to do or what to say or I just found the whole concept of it foreign and weird for some reason. And now every week I sit here with Cass and we do a podcast where all we do is talk to each other and technically not even each other, but just you guys or the birds. So it takes time. I mean, I wish there was an easier solution or an easier answer, but unfortunately, it's one of those things. You just gotta keep practice, practice, practice. Whether it be in a mirror, the reason people say talk in the mirror is because it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to look at themselves and talk to themselves. It's weird. It's weird and uncomfortable. Except I've literally sat here since we've gone live and looked at myself because I'm looking at OBS and my chat and I see myself and I'm talking to myself and it's still sometimes I look up and I'm like, oh, that's weird. But you get used to it. It's one of those things.
I've seen some people who use like a question of the day. So like when you join their stream and you say hi, they'll like literally pause the stream, look at you and say, "Hey, what's your favorite breakfast food?" Or "What's your favorite soda?" Or "What's your favorite candy?" or whatever. And like that kind of conversation starter is really great because then not only are you asking someone else about them, um, which is nice to do for new people that are around, but you know, it also really opens the door for a great conversation. Um, because sometimes it's hard to just like randomly know what to say to somebody when they come into your stream. So kind of having something like that prepared, like, okay, my question of the day is what's your favorite breakfast food? And then you already have that hard part out of the way. So I know a few people that kind of use that tactic and it kind of gets people a little more invested in chatting with you, you know? So
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I mean, you could do something as simple as go out and buy one of those calendars for $1. Those 365-day back to the day calendars, and
oh yeah,
you and chat
That's a
can learn
thing?
together. That is a thing.
Oh,
You know, it's just stupid things like that. Yeah, list titles the past few days are prime examples. You know, what's your favorite cereal? You know, who's the best COD player?
it honestly helps a lot.
Yeah, it starts a conversation before people are even in the door. That's how you got to look at it.
mm,
And if you make it around something that you want to talk about and that you're comfortable with, whether it be shoving Reese's in your mouth or, you know, Venom and Spider-Man, it's just,
yeah.
it's a simple topic for you to talk about.
Mm.
But I wish there was a cookie cutter answer, but like everything else here, unfortunately, it's only really what we think can help, and it'll work for some and not for others. It's just one of those things. There's there's a niche on the internet for everybody, but it doesn't always mean that it's gonna work. So, anyways, I want to thank all of you for being so absolutely wonderful and amazing. I appreciate you all coming in. Lit, I appreciate you joining us, even though it wasn't on camera. Even though
Thank you, Lit.
Hi, bye, guys. Love you. Thank you for watching and listening and whatever you were doing, whatever on the bed, on the.
All right, guys, you can find Lit on all the things. It's LIIT__. Go follow him before he gets banned on Twitch. Kass, where can they find you?
You know, MissFatalKisses everywhere. That's me.
And mine is SnoopHog TV on all of things. And with that said, we are going to go and send the True Fam, True Love over to a true affiliate who is streaming right now, doing some hot and bothered Ark DLC. Ark still makes DLCs, all right? Didn't know it was a thing.
Oh.
Cass is interested. Yeah. Thank you all so very much for joining us. We are live every Wednesday at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. They will be here Friday morning for Phone In Friday, 11 a.m. It'll be Valley Green, and there is a special guest talking about a new product that can help you extend your stream out and all that other fun stuff. Also, this weekend is the Sticky Dog charity stream. Be there. It's for dogs and vets.
Be there.
And I don't mean vets like veterinarians. I mean veterans. So
Or
be
you guys
there.
are banned if you're not
please.
there.
Yes, we're handing out bands for people that don't show up. Band. Have a good night. Love you.
Okay, bye.